But let's start with the news and rumors. First and foremost, being that a lot of reports have come out recently that Ronda Rousey might be making her grand return to WWE during the Royal Rumble match. A lot of people then projecting and predicting that she would then win the Rumble and WWE could finally get their long-awaited one-on-one Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey match at WrestleMania. Now, I very much enjoyed Ronda's tenure in WWE back a few years ago. She took a minute to get going, but I thought she worked her ass off and she improved a lot. And by the end there, it was a lot of fun to watch her in the ring. And there's definitely a lot of stuff she can do. Obviously, the Becky thing is first and foremost, and with her new version of her character, so she's not so much the man anymore as big time Bex. But that matchup would be a lot of fun one-on-one, especially since we were robbed of it the first time. Thanks, Vince and Charlotte. So, Danny, I'll start with you since you are the other resident Becky Lynch fan on this show. How do you feel about Ronda's possible return and a possible WrestleMania match one-on-one for the title with Bex?
Okay, so first of all, as of time of recording, happy birthday, Rev. Let's put that. Everyone.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
This is weird. I never thought I'd be in a situation where I'd be so pumped to hear news about Ronda Rousey coming back. And I also enjoyed Ronda's run. Honestly, I really think there wasn't too much bad in there. Like, the first match was amazing. She started off way, way up top. That was the best match of it. Granted, a not too great WrestleMania, but like that tag match with Kurt Angle was the last good thing Kurt Angle did in fucking WWE. So
we can't use in the Shield.
Okay, the last good non-meme thing he did in WWE. But when I heard this news, I got so much more excited for this Rumble, like, because I've been saying for weeks and slight spoiler or predictions later that I was like, it's Bianca. No one else can win the Women's Rumble but Bianca. Like, it's a foregone conclusion. And I'm kind of like, as much as, it makes sense. That was the story since SummerSlam, to have that payoff of Bianca getting her win back versus Becky. I think having back-to-back Rumble wins is a guaranteed way to turn people off of Bianca, because you can't do that anymore. Like, we're bad. Like, we're bad as fans that we're conditioned to not like things like that, but that's just how it is. We would have turned on Bianca for that. We would have got kind of sick of her the same way we got kind of sick of Drew McIntyre. Not like go away sick of Drew McIntyre, but we were all kind of glad Bobby won at WrestleMania last year, sick of Drew McIntyre.
He ran his course as champion.
Yeah. So as much as maybe this could be taking an accolade away from Bianca, I think this is better for her in the long run of the fans not turning on her because she's still over. And that being said, again, this is just a rumor, so this doesn't mean anything yet. But like you said, we were robbed of the one-on-one Becky Ronda match because, WWE's plan was always Charlotte versus Ronda, but Becky Lynch just had to go and get more over than anyone else in the company. How inconvenient, right? So I'm excited. I know there's gonna be not everyone's gonna be thrilled about it, but we never got that one-on-one match. We never got that payoff. And it's your two biggest female stars. You gotta do it. If The Rock's coming back for a serious match, not an Eric Rowan squash match, but a 10-minute, 15-minute match, you're not gonna have him face 2016 Rusev, you're gonna have him face CM Punk, John Cena, your top guys,
Roman,
Bryan, whatever. That match is gonna be boring. I don't know why people want that.
Hey.
It's gonna be a bad match. It'll be a fun story, maybe, but the match is gonna be bad.
I'm overwhelmed.
That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about, James. Don't get sidetracked, okay? But
this podcast does not go on tangents.
Never,
ever.
Heaven forbid.
We just don't do that. But just the rumor of Ronda being back makes things so much more exciting. It doesn't excuse spoiling so many of your surprises, but it's the women's match has to main event now, right? Like, what could main events like the like the bullshit men's rumble that's gonna have either Brock or Roman win? Like the women's match is so much more of a big deal now, just off of this one rumor, and that is due to the star power of Ronda Rousey, yeah, but also just the excitement that brings, the freshness that brings, because, and I know it's Becky Ronda again if it happens, but like that's feels so much more fresh now that it's been a couple of years, and that the women's division hasn't been doing its best over the past, well, almost since the pandemic started, honestly, besides a few people like Bayley and Sasha. But there's so much good going on here, and everything I'm saying now goes out the window if it's Ronda Charlotte, and then I don't care about Ronda Rousey right immediately. Like, again, I'm like, oh, well, this was pointless. But this is one of a few times where I kind of have faith. I kind of trust the process right now. And the only thing that might be a little jarring is, let's be real here, Becky, is maybe Ronda gets cheered the first couple of weeks because it's exciting she's back, but the fans are going to cheer Becky over Ronda, so you're going to have to switch back, or at least have Becky be a tweener. But I don't care. I'm just excited now for this. Like, I really hope this rumor is true, honestly. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely adds a lot more gravitas to the women's rumble, especially as opposed to the men's rumble, because I couldn't tell you I couldn't tell you anybody who was in it. Like, I'm sure they're just throwing in the usual names, but like
there's no believable winners announced in the match as we stand right now.
Yeah, the most popular guy in the match is currently Johnny Knoxville. So I think that just shows you where the men's rumble stands. But even the rumor of Ronda Rousey has immediately elevated the women's match, Chad, to far and away above the men's.
I'm of the same belief with you guys. When Ronda first came, okay, I'll say I didn't heavily enjoy her tenure, but it took a minute. Then after about a month or two, when I saw that, hey, this is not just another celebrity, she's working on her shit, she's not just green, she's going to make things work, the storylines became fun, I was like, okay, I can get behind it. So I'm also super excited if it is Ronda. I mean, I think we pretty much know at this point that Ronda's coming back. I hope so. And I actually have to give an on-air apology to Daniel Hernandez. I thought about it the other day where I said I didn't want to see Ronda and Becky anymore. And then he brought up something in the group chat and was like, as fans, we've been brainwashed to believe that if something happens more than once, we don't want it because it's watered down and it's going to be worse the second time. And I just had in my mind Brock Roman. But I never thought that if we nix Charlotte, which is why I'm so jaded in the first place, if we nix Charlotte and we just have Ronda and Becky, that is actually super refreshing for me. So I'm with it. I like it. I hope she comes back. And that kind of stifles my predictions later, but I hope she wins.
Well, I think this stifled everyone's predictions because, there's a Ronda Rousey in the works now, whereas this seemed like it was going to be so predictable. Now it's, who knows? Because now we don't even know if this is true or not. So this kind of drastically changes things.
Yeah, it's fucked up anything I had running prediction wise. And else I think too, though, would be nice, James, is after the finish at the Rumble with the triple threat, I think a lot of people were upset with the roll up, whereas
Mania,
excuse me, yeah. Whereas now you could possibly have I don't want to say a real finish, but a pinfall or a submission, as opposed to pinfall off a finisher or a submission, as opposed to like the sneaky roll up.
I completely agree, and I was there for, I think, Ronda's 3 of her 4 biggest moments in WWE. I was there for when she got brought into the ring by The Rock and she beat the crap out of Triple H and Stephanie. I was there for the match with Kurt against Triple H and Stephanie. And I was there for the main event with Becky and Charlotte. And I enjoyed Ronda's tenure with WWE immensely. I think she brought a gravitas to that division that Danny, like you said, I think has been missing in the last couple of years. And I'm excited that she's back because I don't want to compare her, but it's almost impossible not to. She feels like she's the Brock Lesnar of the women's division. You know, she's this, beyond the MMA background and the pedigree, she brings this intensity, and she brings this awareness to whatever she does. There's always going to be hype when there's something that involves Ronda Rousey, and the women's division, quite frankly, needs that. That all said, I would be lying if I said I'm not a little bit nervous. And Danny, you actually did touch on a couple of my worries. One being the fact that right now the money match is obviously Becky Lynch. Nobody's going to care about a Charlotte match, and quite frankly, whatever. If we got to sacrifice getting Ronda Becky, and by doing that sacrificing Sasha to Charlotte, so be it. But it is going to be weird to have what should be a heel Becky versus a babyface Ronda. I agree. Most likely fans are just going to cheer Becky no matter what, but it just further cements how bad of an idea it was to turn Becky heel in the first place. You know, I don't know if it was Becky's choice. I don't know if it was WWE's choice. Yeah, it was WWE's choice, but it was a bad idea, and now nobody's gonna cheer. Like you said, maybe there will be excitement because, hey, Ronda Rousey, she's back, yay! But no, it's Becky. We've been wanting babyface Bex versus big bad Ronda since the Mania it was supposed to happen. And the truth is, I know you guys kept saying, like, oh, we were robbed of Becky versus Ronda in the first place. Truth be told, I'm just eternally grateful Becky was in the match to begin with. We were supposed to get Charlotte versus Ronda.
Yeah,
that was
a
supposed
plan
to
from
be
the year before.
And they could have just stuck to their guns because it's WWE. They stick to their guns on a lot of stuff. So
but we got to give credit where credit's due. Thank you, Nia Jax.
Right?
Her
face.
The one good thing she did in her tenure was accidentally almost knock Becky out of wrestling forever.
Anybody else mildly worried Nia's going to be a surprise entrant in the Rumble for that Roman Reigns heat? Because I really think it's going to happen.
Maybe, but I feel like hers is so recent and she left on bad terms. Like, I don't know. I'll give Nia, we show Nia all day, but to give her some credit, she seems like one of the people that would turn it down and, you know, stick to her guns, and, you know, it'd be a pride thing for her. And I wouldn't blame her at all. That's one where I'd kind of take Nia Jax's side. As much as, you know, it's a good thing she's not wrestling, it's still a bad thing the way she's not wrestling anymore.
Yeah.
So I think she'd be one
agree.
of those people to turn it down.
I hope so, but whoever said it, I agree. This Rumble just got a whole lot more interesting. I think as of right now, it is the more intriguing Rumble. Well, no, I take that back.
By far now.
It's the more exciting Rumble. I think the men's Rumble is more intriguing because I think the fact that we know Ronda's going to be in the match. I think we know Ronda's going to win the match. So there's a lot less mystery and a lot more, is it going to happen? Is this going to happen?
I see what you mean, but also I think the men's Rumble it's not actually intriguing. We just don't know who's going to win because they're not building up anyone as a winner. Where like it's more of like a damnation of the match because everyone in the match sucks. Not like actually sucks, but in kayfabe, like,
yeah,
it's all losers. Like in kayfabe, like no one's believable.
I think, I mean, I know we're going to get it. I don't know how much we're going to get into the men's Rumble, but I don't know. Regardless, Ronda, even as a whisper, is a game changer for this event. And I think a lot more eyes are going to be on it than they were initially. So that's good. Like, it's good no matter what.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, like I've gotten so much more excited to talk about this Rumble now because of this. And, you know, I'm pleased, but also very surprised because it's like Ronda Rousey. Like I liked her when she was there, but, you know, like Ronda wasn't someone that we started booing because we were sick of her. She was doing a bad job. It was literally just like, we like Becky. You're not Becky. Boo you. So like, but now her coming back is just just the idea of it is so refreshing, and it's, I don't know. I think it's great.
I do feel bad for Bianca though. I do feel bad for her.
I do, but like I said, I really think this only hurts her in the short term, and it stops her from becoming overexposed. And this goes back to damn in WWE, but I would have been more excited for Bianca winning if she didn't have like 5 title matches from SummerSlam to November. Like,
yeah,
like it was too many. They always go one too far. Like Liv got 1 too many title matches. Bianca got 1 too many title matches. Like, Sasha, whenever she feuds with Charlotte, always has 1 too many title matches. Like, they always go that 1 too far. And then, like, Doudrop turned heel to feud with Bianca, but like Doudrop was right in the fact that she was like, you keep giving her all these title matches, and like, so I really do think this will only be a minor set, especially because in my head, I don't see Ronda beating Becky. I see them just giving Becky the win, because this doesn't feel like, I don't think Ronda, and this is me just speculating because we really don't know, but I feel like this is just to do the Mania match, and then Ronda will disappear again, maybe come back, have like a fun squash at SummerSlam or something, but
Well,
like,
didn't
this
Ronda
literally sets it up for
Ronda just had her kid, right? Or semi-recently she had a kid?
a few months ago.
Yeah, so I imagine like, she wouldn't want to do a long-term thing with it.
So I still think
toddler.
Bianca will be the person to beat Becky. I just think it won't be at WrestleMania now. Like, hell, they can do it the night after WrestleMania, like something crazy like that, and like it still works, because then it's also nice because like in my head you could have had this great title reign for Becky since she came back, where like she beats Bianca and Sasha in a triple threat, she beats Liv, she beats like Toni Storm or whoever, like cycle through opponents, she beats Beth Phoenix at the Rumble, like in a title match, because that's usually the perfect time to have that kind of match, is like you do that kind of thing at the Rumble. Like, they had Lita stare off with Charlotte on SmackDown 2 weeks ago, because everyone looks at that and thinks, yeah, Lita and Charlotte, those are the 2 people we associate with each other, not the punk rock girl and the steampunk girl, like who have similar colored hair. No, like we think about Charlotte and Lita, like, there's like, the more you build up Becky's title reign now, like, fuck it, we're here now, like now that we're already here, just build it up so that when she does lose it to Bianca, it's an even bigger deal. So I really do think Bianca's gonna be fine. Like, she is over. She'll be okay.
Yeah, she's going to be fine regardless. And now with you speaking on it, I think I do want to see Bianca take it back at SummerSlam.
That's what I was going to say.
That actually makes the most sense now that you said it.
Yeah, get her revenge.
You're right.
Yeah, get her revenge a year later at SummerSlam. That makes a whole lot of sense to me.
I hate Daniel.
No, I'm not Eric, okay? You can not be upset that I'm right.